Is it happening?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But you know, Floyd has a good time because Conor and his fans like, you know, everybody has like the group of friends and you joke around, and there's always like the fat kid in your group that like, you know, he can't take the joke, you know, like he always gives you the best reaction, and then so what happens to that kid? You crack on him more, you pull more pranks on him because you know you get the best reaction. Like all the other friends, you prank on them too, but you don't get a good reaction. You know, it's not as fun to prank on them. It's always fun to get prank on the people that give you the best reaction. So Conor and his friends, Conor and his fans, like the fat friends, you know. Anytime Paulie will give you something like get in the cage right away, like, oh man, he's gonna kill him, and then Conor will start posting pictures and everybody get excited, you know what I'm saying? So that makes all of us laugh, you know. So you're gonna get a better kick out of it. So what happened? You start to mess with him more. I just think that Floyd messing with Conor and his fans because they're kind of fun to mess with. You know, they're so mad that he got smacked around like that. You know, it was kind of funny. It's cute that there's so much animosity there for them, you know. At the end of the day, I think it's just Floyd having a good time.
But is there a dollar amount where Floyd would actually do it?
I think it's a price for everything. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I really don't know that you can buy Floyd that easily. You know, I think Floyd has accomplished everything he wants to, and I think Floyd has a lot of money. You know, and I think when they come to the point with legacy, too, money has to be considered. Not that Conor's ever really a threat to Floyd's legacy. I think Floyd could be 65 years old and beat up Conor McGregor in a boxing match. But I do think that you know, you want to preserve your legacy. 15-0 looks really good. You know, it's a nice round number, and I think it's just time to enjoy life.
But the other argument is, but if he loses in MMA, it's not boxing, it's not a sport, so it doesn't really
Why are you gonna risk? Why are you gonna risk? Like, why? Like, that's like, I don't know. That's like if I'm worth $300 million and you say, you know what, I'm gonna go hang gliding or I'm gonna go skydiving, but the parachute might work, the parachute might not work. Let's just take a chance on it. For what? What do I gotta do that for? I got too much to live for. You know, I think the fight is too much of a risk. Even if it goes gamble, you know what I mean? Let's face it. You know, and that makes martial arts. McGregor has the advantage. You know, boxing, Floyd has the advantage. But nobody ever argued this. The only people that were arguing this was even Conor morons who thought he was gonna come over here and actually box well. You know what I mean? So nobody ever argued this. You know,
he was gonna take over the sport.
Yeah, he's gonna take over the sport.
Can you speak to the last 10 days of Adrien Broner's life?
It's, you know, AB's life is always sort of a movie, you know? Matter of fact, AB's life maybe made into a movie one day. It's hopefully it's the kind that, you know, you has a good ending, you know? I think at this point though, it's almost like wrong place at the wrong time kind of thing, you know. Sometimes AB's in a situation where he probably has to stay to himself a little bit, you know. He's too much of a public figure, and if you act like yourself, and he's a guy with a lot of bravado and a lot of in-your-face kind of personality, and it's one of those things where if you have too much of that bravado and you're always in the public, trouble's gonna come find you. And I think Adrien, trouble has come found him a little bit too much, even when he's not looking for it. Don't get me wrong, sometimes, you know, it's been him in the past, but I genuinely don't think Adrian's looking for trouble of late. And I think it's coming to find him because he's too much in that public circle. I just think he needs to take a step back, chill, focus on his boxing, and leave it at that. Hopefully he's able to do that. You know, because there's a fun fight with Omar Figueroa coming up. I don't want that fight not to happen. I'm really looking forward to that fight. Both guys are fun TV. Both guys are exciting fighters, and they're very good fighters. And I want to see that fight.
Both guys got arrested.
Yeah, they've been there too.
Can I double down on that question? Is it AB with mental health issues, or is it AB in a sunken place with AB?
No, I think it's AB in a sunken place with AB. I think maybe AB's confused sometimes, you know. I don't think there's as much mental health issues as people make it out to be in this day and age. I think everybody wants to be a victim in today's day and age. So they want to diagnose themselves with some kind of problem. Maybe you just suck at life. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just that. Maybe you just got to change your way of thinking and make yourself a better person and be goal oriented and whatnot. So I don't blame things that happen to AB because AB has mental health issues. I just think AB has to make smarter decisions because AB is capable of making smarter decisions. And sure, you might be in a downward spiral, a downward place, but it's up to you to come out of that. Depression is diagnosed. Not that many people. You can't tell me that there's this many people depressed in the world today, bro. I mean, what happened? what happened is so bad all of a sudden.
No, but he said that's not the case. That's not the facts. That she wanted an autograph, and she got mad. So
listen, I'm sure it was probably one of those things where he probably tried to kick it to her. Maybe he said something flirty. Maybe she turned him down, and maybe he said something a little bit smart aleck. You know, I've been there. You know what I mean? Where you try to kick it to the chick, and she gives you a smart ass remark, and then you'll give a smart ass remark back, maybe a little disrespectful even. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to be disrespected. And you know, in this day and age now, people can take offense to that more so than they could in the past. You know, so you know, it's just like I said, it's just wrong situation, wrong place, wrong time. Okay. And you know, I just think he needs to take a step back and focus more on his boxing. You know, that's what got him here, and focus on the fact that he should love boxing. Focus on his love for boxing, because the love of boxing is where there's the centerpiece of all of this anyway. So focus more on the love for boxing, and all the other stuff that can be second nature and that can come second best.
Mayweather fought McGregor 6 months ago. The UFC said they're going to release the sparring. It's been 6 months. We haven't seen the 10 rounds of sparring with Paulie and Conor. When are they going to release it?
When they figure out a way to what's it called? When they figure out a way to edit it a little bit better.
We'll never see it.
You might wait till 2030 for it. No, you're not gonna see it.
Back on Broner though, if he loses to Figueroa, is that it for Broner? He's lost so many.
I don't know. You know, it's a tough fight. Omar's not playing, but Omar looked really good in that Guerrero fight last year.
I mean, all you gotta do is throw. I was telling you actually, if he just throws 80 punches around, he wins the fight. You kind of because he locks up. Well, you break down the fight. You're much better at it than most people.
You can throw punches, a lot of punches against Broner, and he'll lock up. But you have to throw a lot of punches and confuse him. Either you have to be awkward, or you have to be really fast, and there's no daylight in between. And I'm going to tell you why you have to. It's not just the punches thrown. Because if you just try to throw punches, but there's too much daylight in between them, or they're too predictable, in the way they come at you, you become Antonio DeMarco, who also try to throw a lot of punches, but they beat the shit out of him in between those shots. So it's not just about throwing the amount of punches you throw to AB and lock up, make AB lock up. They have to be confusing punches, they have to be a varied tempo, and they have to be maybe sometimes even quick and fast. Not always quick and fast. Like for me, Ponce de Leon and Marcos Maidana just do confusing shots, awkward shots, and Broner's confusion made him lock up. For me, it was more the speed. You know, if there's no daylight in between the shots, AB can't open up. It's from covering up. He can't throw anything in between them. But if you were like DeMarco, who was kind of predictable in his output, he was throwing a lot of shots, but he's predictable in the way he was throwing them. AB's going to start punching in between you and timing. So I think it's more so the creativeness and honestly the creativity. And honestly, I think Figueroa has that creativity. First of all, just that uppercut on the inside and show against Guerrero was super creative right there. The way he was able to get that off. So you know, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. You know, again, just talking about it makes me excited for the fight. That's how I hope I see it. Hope AB can keep his nose clean. Hope Omar, you know, has a good camp and makes weight. And you know, everybody have a gala fun night on April 21st watching it. Speaking of April 21st, there's a lot of fights that night, right?
Yeah. Overseas.
Me versus Figueroa, Khan versus Greco, and Crawford, right? Crawford
no, he's 14, but the little guy, the 126 guy. The 126 guy, the Asian kid. What's his name? Don't he fight April 21st too?
Donaire?
Donaire. 21st.
Oh, Donaire.
Yeah.
Frampton. So there's a lot of boxing that day.
Asian kid.
That's a worldwide. That's a
Filipino
worldwide
kid.
phenomenon for boxing.
Right. International Boxing Day. Who do you like this weekend? George Groves, Chris Eubank Jr.
I know.
I think it's funny because I think Groves was a better fighter before he won the title.
Really?
That's not to say Groves is a bad fighter yet. I think Groves just happened to fight tougher champions when he fought Froch and when he fought who's the loss against Badu Jack. I think they were just tougher champions. And although he was a better fighter at that time, he just happened to come up against better champions. When he fought Chudanov, he was still a high-level fighter, but I think he lost a couple percentage points in his level. You know, maybe he was at 100 before, maybe let's say he's at 90 now. You know what I'm saying? But Chudanov is just not of the level of Froch and Badu Jack. You know, so he's a world champion and he's still a world-class, phenomenal fighter. But I think he's kind of descending a little bit while Eubank is ascending. So we'll see at what point they're meeting. Are they meeting at the point where Eubank ascended past them, and Groves descended a little bit, or are they still meeting where Groves is still up above him? Because you also have to keep in mind there's a little wild card in there. Groves is the bigger man. He's a natural super middleweight. Eubank is a natural middleweight. I think it's a fun fight. I think it's a good fight, and I'm not gonna get to watch it because I'm gonna be preparing for the Rios and the Garcia Rios fight in the arena already by the time it comes on.
How are you preparing for Garcia Rios?
Well, we have to rehearse. We have to mandatorily. It's a mandatory. It's a mandatory like the sanctioning bodies give us. It's a mandatory for us commentators to show up for rehearsal on fight day. So I'm not going to be able to see the growth of Eubank fight.
Do you think the way like Chris Eubank's confidence and his bravado,
I love
the way he talks to opponents, does that affect them? Like, is that
I don't know if it affects them, but I know it affects him. You know, it affects him in a positive way. You know, he has a lot of his father's psychology, and it's probably been taught to him by his father. If you look at the way his father was and the psychology he had, and you look at the way Chris is, just his being and his energy, he has a lot of senior in him. You know what I'm saying? And the good parts. You know, the good parts. So we'll see. We'll see if he can accomplish as a pro what his father accomplished in the pros. But I think the psychology is very much learned and taken from his father.
All right, thanks, Paulie.
All right, guys.
Appreciate you, Paulie. Thank you, brother.
Come on, you can have it on your phone. It's going to be on Facebook.
I know.
The volume up.
Paulie, one question though. When two fighters go at it like that with all emotions, who has the advantage walking away from that?
I think both of them, because now they both amped up for the fight. You know, it's just fun. You know, I used to love stare downs like that and press conferences like that. You know, when you look back on it, you're like, man, that's what you did this for. You know what I'm saying? Get people energized and hyped for it. You know, I don't think anybody takes an advantage out of that. I think both guys leave that stare down confidently. They both got in their 2 cents, and they look forward to the next day. They're probably looking more forward to eating anyway at that point.
Last question. You fought Amir Khan. Any advice to Phil Greco?
Phil's gonna be prepared. Amir's very fast. Phil knows what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? It's a tough fight, but that's why you box, to get to these big fights, right? And I think Phil's more than prepared for this kind of level of fights. He's been waiting for his whole career. Ever since the amateurs were on the national teams in Canada and Italy. I think at the end of the day, Amir is a phenomenal fighter, and everybody's looking forward to his return. They should. But I think also Phil is also excited about being in the ring with him and getting a chance to upset the apple cart.
What do you make of Manny Pacquiao being on the undercard of Crawford?
You know what I make of that? I make of that Horn and Crawford are phenomenal fighters, but they don't sell very well. So you need something on that undercard to up the buys. And so I think Manny Pacquiao on that card gives it a little bit of a different spin, and it'll up your pay-per-view buys a little bit. So I think that's why they did that.
All the New York niggas coming here trying to build beggars. All the New York niggas trying to build. All the New York niggas trying to build us, man.